I hate Sony. Really, Sony? The only reason, I guarantee you, the only reason why Sony is taking Spider-Man out of the MCU is because the MCU is doing Spider-Man the way Sony used to do Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. I guarantee that is why they're taking out Spider-Man of the MCU. Is because Marvel is doing Spider-Man correctly. Now, from what I saw, they're not taking him out of the entire MCU, because that'd be stupid. But they're like taking out the solo movies. So I'm sure you guys are going to correct me in the comments if that is accurate or not. But the article that I saw, or the thumbnail that I saw, is that they're taking the solo movies out, but they're not taking him completely out of the MCU, because that would be super, super stupid. Because Spider-Man, especially the Tom Holland edition, is a very beloved character by all fans. And if they take him out, not only is that going to cause a major problem with future Marvel movies, but it's also going to cause, fans to get pissed with Sony and a whole bunch of other things. So business-wise, Sony shouldn't do that. And even kindness-wise, they still shouldn't do it, because Sony is just doing it for money. They're literally just doing it because Sony wants to roll around in Spider-Man type cash all over again, because of the failures of the past of Amazing Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2. Venom was okay. I did not like the Into the Spider-Verse. The animation style confused the hell out of me. I could not follow it. And the Spider-Verse has been done way too many times. Other than that, Spider-Verse is something I will watch, maybe once a year, but it's not one of my favorites. But literally, Sony on Spider-Man is on the major decline, and they're jealous because Marvel is actually doing Spider-Man justice. They are actually making a good Spider-Man series. Now, I have not seen Far From Home, but I've heard it's about as good, if not better, than Spider-Man Homecoming. So that's always good to know, because I believe that there were 2 more solo Spider-Man movies planned. So Sony may just be doing like what Universal is doing with Hulk, because Marvel, for those of you who don't know, Disney and Marvel do not own the rights to Hulk. That is owned by Universal Studios. But they made an agreement that Hulk can be in the Marvel movies, but he cannot have a solo movie, which is exactly what they've been doing. And it's worked out for almost, 10 years, and it's still fine. Spider-Man in 2016, Captain America, Civil War, that was only 3 years ago, or 4 years ago. Or almost 4, or whatever. It wasn't that long ago. So I don't know why the hell Sony is deciding to go ahead and pull the carpet out of Spider-Man and say, hey, we want him back. But yet we can't make him right. Shut up. That's exactly what it's like. That's exactly what it feels like. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think Sony reclaiming Spider-Man is a good thing? No. Or do you think that Tom Holland should stay in the MCU as Spider-Man, because he is the second most beloved version of Spider-Man in Spider-Man live action history? Tobey Maguire is always going to be almost everybody's favorite. Andrew Garfield, nobody really cared for, not a lot of people. There are tons of people who do like him as Spider-Man. Personally, I did not, because he was way too old to be playing Spider-Man. And I like Tom Holland. Tom Holland is really good, and hopefully they get to keep him around for at least a few more years. You know, if they do reclaim Spider-Man, you know, from a business standpoint, you know, they do want to start making more money, and they can't do that if, you know, Spider-Man is split up between Marvel and Sony. But if Sony is in love with the fans, and, you know, up with fans and updates and everything else on fan-wise, they need to keep Spider-Man in. Because if they take him out, not only are a lot of fans going to voice their personal opinions in one way or another, but Sony's just going to end up making the same. They're just going to end up correcting it anyway. So why go ahead and do it? Like, if you're going to take him out, that's one thing, but fans are going to get pissed, and then they're going to end up being forced to give it back or put him back in, and then it's just going to cause a whole bunch of trouble. So why do it to begin with? So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Personally, I think they should go ahead and leave Spider-Man alone with the MCU, because Sony cannot make Spider-Man movies anymore. You know, Into the Spider-Verse, for me, I thought was a flop, as well as Venom. Venom was a little bit better, though, because Venom was original. It was different. This Into the Spider-Verse was the same crap. It was just Spider-Man, 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 and one Spider-Girl. It was the exact same thing as a whole bunch of video games, TV series, and a whole bunch of other stuff. This Spider-Verse has been done way too many times. So, why not do the Deadpool Corp? Do the Deadpool universe. I know, do a Deadpool version of the Spider-Verse. You know, do something like that for a change. Not Spider-Man. You know, I love Spider-Man just as much as you guys do. But the whole different versions of Spider-Man I get are iconic and different and a whole bunch of this and blah, 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 blah. But the Spider-Verse has been done way too many times. So I know you guys are going to leave comments yelling at me like, the Spider-Verse is the best Spider-Man movie of all. Trust me, no, it's not. I have seen every Spider-Man movie to date, and Into the Spider-Verse, for me, if they had changed the animation style and some of the voice acting, it would have been better. That's just me. So, anyway, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that Sony should take away Spider-Man, or do you think Marvel should try to buy the rights to Sony, or at least try to buy the rights to Spider-Man? Because while Disney's trying to take over the world, that's one thing. They know how to make a Spider-Man movie. Sony does not anymore, because they blew all of their money, all of their resources, and all of their ideas on The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and that movie sucked. It was a big flop, and critics and fans alike all agree that Amazing Spider-Man 2 was the biggest failed Spider-Man movie of all time. And because of that movie, all of the Sony as a whole has went from all the way up here to into the crapper. So, I personally think Disney needs to try to go ahead and buy the rights to Spider-Man. They have the money for it. I mean, they literally make, I think the article said that Disneyland alone makes like $3 million a month or something crazy like that. So it's not like they couldn't be able to afford getting Spider-Man into, you know, the whole massive budget that they're, or the whole massive studios that they're doing. Like, Disney owns Star Wars, they own Marvel Comics, they own radio stations, TV stations, whole bunch of other things. Disney's literally trying to take over the world. Maybe they can add Spider-Man to that. You know, if they do, Maybe Spider-Man will be able to stay in the MCU. Maybe Spider-Man will actually get a much better trilogy than what Amazing Spider-Man was going to bring, because apparently there were talks of an Amazing Spider-Man 3, and thank God it was canceled, because they were going to try to bring in the Spider-Verse, and like I said earlier, the Spider-Verse has been done way too many times. So again, let me know what you guys think. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Ghost Rider versus Savini Jason, it will be coming out tomorrow, which is Thursday. So, stay tuned for that. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out. You guys are awesome. I'll see you guys all later. Bye.